We're in Marion, Indiana, the birthplace of James Dean. And we're about to head down to Fairmount, Indiana, which is the hometown of James Dean and Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield. Whoa! We made it to the birth spot of James Dean. He was born here on February 8, 1931 in an apartment house which stood at this site. It no longer stands here, but they put a couple memorials here to mark the occasion. James Dean starred in 3 major movies, but unfortunately he would never see 2 of them finished because he died in a car crash in California at the young age of 24. Here's a picture of the house they used to stand here. Oh, here we go. It's kind of hard to see with the sun. It says James Byron Dean was born on this site at 2 a.m. on February 8, 1931. The only child of Winton and Mildred Dean. The Deans lived in this Unit A of the Seven Gables, a 2-story, 4-unit apartment house that stood at this location. So they lived here for a while, and then they moved down to Fairmount, Indiana, and that's where we're going next. Here in Marion, Indiana, this is where James Dean's mother was laid to rest. After they left Marion and Fairmount, they moved out to California, Santa Monica, and James Dean's mom passed away when he was just 9 years old. And strangely, he had to ride a train back to Fairmount with his mother, who passed away in the train with him. His father sent him back to Fairmount, Indiana to live with his aunt and uncle on the farm in Fairmount, Indiana. And we're going to find that place next. And this is the Winslow Farm where James Dean grew up from the age of 9 in Fairmount, Indiana. There's a lot of famous pictures that you can see that chimney and James Dean in, and I'll put those up now. And here's the front of the Winslow Farm. There's a pretty iconic picture of James Dean. Sorry my truck's in the way, but there's nowhere to park. But he's standing right here in the driveway. And you can see these stone walls are kind of there, but they're, over the years, have kind of broken apart. And then there's that iconic farm in the background. We made it to Fairmount, Indiana, home to James Dean and Garfield artist Jim Davis. Let's go check out all the sites for James Dean. In downtown Fairmount, Indiana, they have the bust of James Dean. There's only 2 of these that exist. One here and one at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles, where he shot Rebel Without a Cause. In this nice little park here on the corner of Main Street and 2nd Street, you can find the bust of James Dean. They got a little placard down here. James Dean Memorial Park.
Okay.
Now I definitely look like James Dean.
No, you don't.
And this is where James Dean bought his first motorcycle while he was still in high school. It's not a motorcycle shop anymore, but they kept the signage up there to keep it original.
Car club.
Car club now, yeah, right. Made it to the Fairmount Historical Museum. Pretty sure they have a bunch of James Dean artifacts. And look at this awesome Garfield over here, because Jim Davis is from Fairmount also. Marina's doing her thing. I love it. I was obsessed with drawing Garfield in elementary school. Do you remember what the dog's name was?
Odie.
Yeah, it sure was. So right next to the Fairmount sign that says home of James Dean and Garfield's Jim Davis, if you just turn around, you'll find the iconic Cal Dean grave. Jim Dean's grandfather, and there's a iconic photo that everyone's seen. We're gonna recreate that right now. Let's do it. James Dean, second drive on right, top of the hill. Nice handmade James Dean sign. Alright, I'm just guessing it's this way.
Shut up.
If I had to take a wild guess. I know from pictures online it's chipped away pretty bad, and I think we just may have found it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Alright. So on September 30th, 1955, on a lonely stretch of two-lane highway in California, James Dean was killed in a head-on collision in his Porsche Spyder 550. And this is his grave right here in the town he grew up, Fairmount, Indiana. There's all kinds of James Dean history on this one stretch of country road. So if you're in the area, I would totally recommend coming to check these out. You can find maps online and print them up of where all the spots are. James Dean made 3 movies: East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant. But unfortunately, he only lived long enough to see the finished East of Eden. So he never even got to see Rebel Without a Cause or Giant finished. And then right next to James Dean is the grave of the aunt and uncle that raised him on that farm we were just at, the Winslow Farm. Marcus and Hortense. And I believe on the other side of the grave is his father, Winton Dean, who passed away in 1995 here in Fairmount, Indiana. Now, like I do with all the famous graves I go to, I want to leave a few mementos for James Byron Dean. They have this rock out here that you can sign, and we'll do that in a few minutes. But I want to leave my U2 magnet for James Dean. If you come visit James Dean, feel free to take the magnet. And I also have this Porsche Spider car, like the one he died in on that wreck in California. And one other memento I want to leave is what is said to be the final photo of James Dean before the crash. All right, let's make sure we sign the rock sign and say you were here. I'll be right here. Chadwick Dennis. And then we gotta get Lorena to sign too. Get in there.
I'm gonna do it right here.
Okay. Hell yeah. From Fairmount, Indiana, and the grave of James Dean, we just want to say thanks for watching, and special thanks to my partner Lorena Croy for doing this adventure with me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.